Welcome to Board Ghost, a story broadcast with games as the engine.
If living is a highway, then heaven is a bus stop. Been waiting for a minute there, or has it been forever?
We believe you're out there, hungry for stories for shared experiences. Can't see you, can't hear you, yet we will play for you. This night's offering is a continuation of our game of Goblin Quest using the Sean Bean variant. To learn how we generate stories using the game of Goblin Quest, go check out our Goblin Quest rules primer. Now, the primer is not going to get into this variant. Again, you can go pick up the game. You can go check it out. If you look for Grant Howitt Goblin Quest, you can find it in PDF and physical copy. So our players, myself, John Holt, with me,
Ken Breese.
and returning.
And D. Gailey.
Previously, we set up our Sean Beans. I have been playing Shakespearean Bean. D, who have you been playing? Your
Shooty
crew.
Bean. Shooting and punching and fighting.
And I am Stark Bean, honest, traditional, and doing the right thing.
All right. So our beans are in a sci-fi spy movie where we are playing a spy who is trying to get one last big score to set them up for life. They're in the movie Shoot the Moon.
Bellini's Wild.
Yeah, playing the character Adam Furstman, and he is a Earthside casino inspector or like casino securities agent.
What?
That's kind of what he's evolved
true.
into.
It's true. He's a security expert.
And he's hanging
a
out
casino security expert.
on this basically like a white medieval moon. So it's a White Castle on the moon, a White Castle casino.
That is true.
He, up to this point, has made his appearance on the floor, run into Bianca Bellini, the renowned cat burglar, finally made his way to the top of this tower, to her penthouse where her crew was waiting, and then convinced her crew to let him in on the heist, that he would be of value. And now they've just sneaked past the secret staircase robots and made their way up the secret stairs into something. So we're going to get into Act 2, Scene 3. So the questions are, and I pose this to the thing. I'm playing the chosen one, Sean Bean, right now, a Shakespearean Bean,
wearing a secret amulet that all Sean Beans have access to. It's really the distillation of their rage and pain, and they need the amulet to close the portal that the demon warlock opened at the beginning of time that caused Sean Bean to
just be fractured through the
fractured
multiverse.
throughout the multiverse and never able to actually die.
So what happens next? We've just made our way past the stairs after an exploding robot. I'm being helped along by Bianca Bellini. What happens next?
You find yourself facing like a Baroque, old school locking mechanism. You do have a golden key, but it seems that there are at least 5 golden keys that are required.
Yeah. So how does this present a challenge for my character?
You need to get through that locked door, bro.
Yeah.
And there's also traps.
Ah, traps!
And so what other characters are present in this scene?
Bianca Bellini's there.
The current incarnation of Adam Furstman, Sean Bean,
Sure.
and handlebar mustache henchman.
So
Bianca's number 2.
Bianca's number 2. Handlebars there. Maybe some sort of janitor? I don't know.
I was going to say a cleaning lady.
Yeah, cleaning lady.
I don't know
love
why.
it. Yeah,
but-
cleaning lady.
All right.
Secret vault cleaning lady.
But she's got her cart, and
Exactly.
you're inside the cart.
Yes.
You are the cleaning.
Exactly.
So we make our way over to the thing, and Bianca helps me. I go, I'll be all right in just a moment. Can you? All right. And I pull the key out, and I inserted the first key into the lock, and
Oh, be careful when you put it in.
things rotate and open, and part of the vault recedes. And there's like a panel, like where there are 5 slots where someone could put their hands. 3 right and 2 left. And you have to step into this chamber, and it's clear that there's like this heavy stone thing above me. There's a heavy stone thing above, but there's also a slot where it looks like you have to like put your head through it. So you have to put your head through and also put your hands in the right places to get through. And you basically act as the key for the second part. I look back at the crew and I go, "After you, my lead." And Bianca, what does she say in return?
Hey, what are you, too scared? I thought you're our leader.
Hardly. This is your crew. You know, I got you through the first lock. You have all these other crew members here. You are a cat burglar. Why should I be always on the hook?
All right, boys, you heard him. I don't know what accent that is. For pity's sake, get on there.
I kind of step back and let them, like, I'm trying to give direction.
Yes.
Like, me and Bianca, I think this will work.
Yes.
Do this and do this.
Well, Handlebar doesn't want to stick his head in, so he's helping give direction.
I guess from the cleaning cart, what sort of rolls out, something from a rubbish bin, basically, is what it looks like, is a bunch of rubbish is sort of like spouted out of it. But what really is shooting out towards Adam Furstman is one of his super secret spy technology breast pocket discs.
Yeah.
Who knows what it does, but it's in his hand.
Yeah, he pulls it up and he looks through.
Yeah.
Flips open into a pair of shades that he slides on.
That's right.
And he sees the hand positions. This looks like it's going to work out. He sees who has pressed where before.
Heat and light.
I go, I got to put a head in here, and I pull out a skull of an old person I used to know, and I insert the skull into there. I'm like, maybe this will cover it.
Maybe it does.
Pop the skull in, and I'm like, you know what? I think I got it. Stick the skull in. I put one hand on the thing. I turn the skull, and I've forgotten that actually, no, it takes 2 sets of hands.
Yep.
To do this.
Yep.
I realized this moments after the ceiling just goes and then comes back up again, and there's just a stain where I was.
Yep.
There's stuck like pancake to this pillar that's in the ceiling, an opalescent suited flattened Adam Furstman Sean Bean.
Quickly, like extending from the cleaning cart is flapjack spatula tool that just sort of shoots up there real quick and squeegees him off and sort of scoops him up and brings him back into it's like a mechano arm that comes out. And
there's a rustling sound, and then
there is a rustling sound.
The next Sean Bean jumps out of the cart.
There is a rustling sound as, yes, exactly, from behind the cart, Stark Bean steps out, his hair blowing in the wind.
Another
He
Adam
broods.
Furstman.
He broods as he nods and says, "We almost got it. Someone will just have to do the hand positions right, but we'll get it. I believe in all of you. All right, Trixie, you put your hand there, and Handlebar, you put your head there, and all right, you, Sleepy, put your hand there." And I'm guiding them. I'm using my leadership abilities to guide them into the right directions.
All right.
Let's do this. Oh yeah, something good happens.
All right.
They're getting it. And one of them is about to be beheaded and crushed, but they pull back right at the right moment before that happens, because they're really getting it now. I say, "All right, move aside. I'll show you how it's done." And I take the lead. And I put my head in to the hole. I start feeling around with my hands, and I say, "May the old gods favor me." And that's when I say, "Ooh, winter is coming. I can feel it. It's so cold." It is super cold. It's so cold. So I put my head in my hand to all over this stuff. And basically what happens is that where I'm putting my hands, like, it deploys this security measure where it like freezes and your skin sticks to it. And so I'm like yanking my hands off, and it's like ripping my skin off and leaving it there. My hands are getting all raw, and I'm just sort of stumbling backwards, like in this pained sort of state. And that's super bad. It's not good. I'm hurt, can't touch anything, can't use my hands anymore. And I say, "Bianca, I need a salve, not just for my hands, but for my soul."
And she rolls her eyes, reaches behind her back, and pulls out this just spray can.
Yep.
And just sprays synthetic skin on your hands.
Nice.
And goes, "Don't be such a babe. You'll be fine.
I can't help it. I'm a wee babe when I'm up here. Especially when I'm around you.
Don't be getting any ideas. we're gonna do this job, and then I'll be ready.
Oh, ideas! I got it now. Let me see that spray bottle. I take the spray bottle and start spraying it into the locks to lube them up. And that's when I get out my thieves' tools, my space thieves' tools, and I start to go to work, try and get one of them open.
And there's like a montage of all these hands.
Yeah.
And there's like
Yeah.
a couple extra sets of hands
Yeah,
in
definitely
there.
a couple of extra hands. One of the hands is like holding a greatsword tip that tries to go in. They take that away. Some good stuff does happen. We're going to flash over to Adam Furstman, and he just has his head back in that hole.
He can't get it out.
Can't get that head out of that hole. Oh, God. Yeah, he's all, you're doing a great job. I think he almost got it. I see it moving. Ah! As he is definitely, he's not crushed, but it's like the hole where you put your head in, that like is like a guillotine where it just closes and he's beheaded.
So that one of those sets of hands, like we pull out and there's like three Adam Furstmans because we were showing our cufflinks and stuff, and we like line up, and one of us peeks our head up over the decapitated body of the other Adam Furstman and says, "Oh, I think I almost got it. 1 second," and we kind of like hide the body back behind us.
Everybody smoke them if you got them. We'll take a 5.
Oh no, this is not good. All right. A little more montage, I think. And
Definitely. Hands come out again.
more hands.
More hands.
In fact, like
There's like a dog hand that comes out.
Yeah. There's like, we just kind of were like shoving.
Like gray alien hand
Yeah.
at one point is in
we
there.
actually like, we're just like trying to hide. Like one of us is occasionally looking back with the decapitated body. So massive head injury. You're helping. Are you helping as well?
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Okay.
Of course I'm helping.
And then there's good stuff, right?
There is good stuff. 2 good stuff. So I don't know if they stack.
So the montage ramps up.
Yep.
So it's hands. Like the head finally goes in, turns this lock, this thing opens. Then like 2 or 3 other mechanisms engage. Like we show a shot of like sticking a body into a thing, like basically like into this one little side corner and closing a closet door on it, and then like locking that with the golden key. And then just montage of this lock thing opening. There's a point though where like getting kind of cocky and and don't know, like in this like spigot just
Sean
comes out
Bean,
and
I don't believe it.
sprays like some
Acid?
poisonous gas,
Acid?
and so I'm just like like coughing up blood.
Oh.
And I'm stumbling towards Bianca, coughing up blood as the vault finally opens behind me.
Furstman, you're going to be the first man in here. Because I think only robots go in there.
So what happens next?
The doors open.
Yeah, and you would think that the treasure might be inside.
How many?
But I think instead it's a giant open room, and hanging from the ceiling are cables and wires, and the floor is electrified.
Ooh.
As if this was some sort of like massive like space server room or something, and things have gone haywire. Something about the power outage of earlier in the night, like this is kind of like where things went wrong. So there are like giant towers of machinery like knocked over. The whole floor is electrified. There's cables and wires hanging everywhere.
It actually looks like someone has been through here. Like not only did the power surge cause havoc, but someone
tore through it.
Something tore through it. Something got here before us.
So the complication is like I need to either get through or get up to something, and it's dangerous.
You need to
and
avoid the
exposed wires.
You need to avoid the electrified floor.
Get through.
Yep, you get through, and this isn't where all the shit is, right?
No, like this is another antechamber to
antechamber.
further deeper into the vault.
All right. Okay. So who's in the scene here?
You're in the scene. Bianca's in the scene. Bianca's flunkies are in the scene. Those of them that are left.
A couple of them got crushed.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think at this point maybe it's me and Bianca. Right?
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yep.
like
just the 2 of you are left now.
it's like the electric obstacle course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Probably need to turn the electricity off.
Yeah, we'll try to figure out what to do. So I think we're looking around and go, Bianca, you're much more spry than I am. We're gonna have to do some acrobats as I take off my jacket and take off my bow tie. And
I don't know, Admin. You're looking pretty spry from here.
Don't you be getting any ideas. We got a job to do. And I smile and wink.
And a celebration afterwards.
Oh, I'll be far from this rock and far from you, Bianchi, if all this works out. All right, I think you're gonna have to jump up, grab that thing. It doesn't look electric, and then I'll grab your legs as you swing, and I'll flip to the next one. Then from there, I'll catch you. All right, let's start with that.
Acrobatics.
The thing is though, I'm gonna need my hands free. You're gonna have to grab me. Just get your legs around my strong jaw.
There's a boom mic operator on top of the set who looks very familiar. He has like, a dire wolf pelt coat on, and he has a great
Nose
sword.
piercing.
Yeah, he does. He has a big nose piercing and a beret on, and he's smoking a cigarette. It looks like he's very ready to like lower his boom to like sort of add another thing for someone to grab onto.
All right, so massive head and neck injury and a boom.
And a boom. Death energy. Good stuff. Success and none.
All right, so it's working. Bianchi leaps up to the thing, starts to get some momentum and swing. Sean leaps up and grabs her legs and kind of gets his head positioned in there. And they get more momentum and more swing. And
Let's go, lassie. Laddie.
She releases him,
Illy.
and his body like flips, and it's like going right towards this thing. And what you didn't hear between the exertion sound and the creaking of the metal was the snap of his neck. So it's just his body kind of flipping through the air.
Let's get a pint.
And then his body is just like the thing he was trying to hold on to, just almost like a piece of a ladder or something. His body just kind of drapes across it and is just hanging off of it now, like, so, by the middle, like folded.
And that's when like the boom mic turns into like one of those crazy claws from the Claw Machine video game. It just like extends out of there and like grabs him up and almost like fishing rods him out of there real quick when all the lights are going wild. Like you can't see the body very well. Everything's bzz, 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 bzz.
The ladder guy, as the claw machine grabs up the body, the ladder sort of like up into the ceiling, and then comes back down. And there's a new Adam Furstman, Sean Bean, now Shooty Bean, like hanging from the ladder. I'm all right. He like grabs hold of the ladder with one hand and waves to Bianchi.
Bianchi says,
Oh, the lights are off now. Thanks to that power surge. Something smells like barbecue, but we can get through the room real easy. Hopefully.
You think it's safe?
Never hurts to try. All right,
Shooty Bean.
Go on 3.
Yeah. I say we jump down onto those server towers over there and climb our way down. It's a far drop to the bottom.
And one of the server towers, you can kind of see through the grill, like a guy looking up through it, and it kind of like shakes and shimmies and is looking, trying to like see if he can catch you.
So I'll go first. I would say ladies first, but you're no lady. So he is going to try and jump down from the ladder onto one of the server towers.
Okay.
server
So
tower is
Scott
moving towards him.
is helping him out.
Yeah.
Oh, go. All right.
And does this lead you closer to your death in any way, shape, or form?
Shooty Bean is grabbing hold of the ladder with both hands, and he's going to build up some momentum and try and swing over. So he's doing kind of like a pull-up, bringing his head up over the bar, and then violently swinging down and swinging back and forth. And he's going to try to jump over onto the server tower.
Success.
All
Can you
right.
describe the success and damage?
He builds up enough momentum. He jumps off of the ladder, and the server tower swerves to catch him. And as he comes down, he hits his ankle.
Ooh.
He twists his foot. Ugh! And he sort of tumbles down off the server tower down to the bottom with a twisted ankle.
So you're on this server tower.
He's fallen off, rolled down the hill, down to the bottom.
All right. So what's next? What are you going to try to do?
All right. He's going to say, Bianchi, get down here. We got to make it across. And he starts heading across the open field, which appears to be not electrified now.
I believed in you the whole time. I knew you'd get us across.
That's right. I knew it too.
Oh, Adam, you're so manly and so well prepared.
He blushes.
I don't even care that my crew is dead. We can mourn later.
Now you're getting feelings for me, eh? After all this time.
Bianca Bellini doesn't have feelings. She just has urges.
All right. So
Yeah.
so
Getting
the
through.
thing you're running across this room. It's pretty big, right?
It is big.
And it's like you're down. It's like a maze a little bit. Too.
I like that.
So now you're no longer like looking. You
Right.
don't have a clear view.
Can't clearly see.
Right. So you need to make your way through, and you don't know when the electricity might come back on.
Mm-hmm.
And there are multiple exits.
Yeah. he grabs Bianchi's arm and starts pulling her, and they're running together through the maze. There's rubble everywhere. They have to dodge around falling beams, and they're trying to get to the exit as they're weaving around all of these sharp objects and debris.
Okay. And as they kind of like come around like a corner to like a divide, you kind of like there's a hand in the server, one of the server grates, just kind of like
that way.
Go that way. Go there.
All right.
The boom mic has been replaced by a spotlight that's sort of like shining like on the exit to use.
All right, so
That's the
we're
one.
heading towards the light, following the hands.
Mm.
They get to kind of a crossroads, and from this angle, they can't see exactly where to go. Shooty Bean reaches into his back pocket this time. and he-
Wow.
yeah,
Mhm.
and
Electricity starts to spark up on the perimeter of the room. It's obvious that the floor is going to become electrified very soon.
very soon, and he pulls out a little compass, and it's not quite a compass. It detects electromagnetic frequencies.
Ooh.
And
Good
he-
thing the electricity hasn't traveled to the center of the room yet, because it's going to take time for it to
Exactly.
travel to the center of the room.
Exactly, and so using his detector, he's able to see the direction that they should travel.
That's...
So he pulls
Shooty
Bianchi
Bean.
towards the next
Oh, yeah.
direction to go.
And he is led through.
Yeah, succeed, discuss.
He and Bianchi.
All right, they reach the end of the long room, and they travel through a short corridor, and they emerge to a new place. So what happens next, right?
You emerge into what would be the treasure vault.
Exactly.
There's like a pedestal with a light on it, and that is the treasure that's in this room.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Bianchi is drooling at this.
Mm-hmm.
Your eyes go wide too. This is the treasure. This is it. This is incalculably valuable. It's also super dense and nearly impossible to move without the correct equipment. In fact, like it's only on this pedestal because there's so much power being pushed in to keep it from just plunging into the core of the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can get your hands on this thing somehow, you'd be set. Ken, who's in this scene?
In the scene is Bianca and Adam Furstman. I think also in this scene, little green gray aliens who are in like sort of like Bacta tanks, like sort of like test tubes, like cylinders of water. Can't tell if they're probably alive because they like have breathing masks going to them. But they're just watching you from their like tube captivities. And as you're looking around, you're realizing there's more like alien tech in here as well. Stuff like that. But it's this dense element that is really sort of drawing everyone's attention because they know that this material can be used to do just the most fantastical things imaginable.
Mm-hmm.
One of the aliens looks a lot like Stark Bean. He's got long hair and a sword, and he's wearing fur. He's naked otherwise. He has a fur coat on, though. Can't get rid of that.
All right, so what are you going to do?
You have to figure out a way to get this object out of here.
Mm-hmm. Get object out.
And I think that Adam Furstman, the super spy, has a method, but it's complicated to put together.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's some sort of time limit that's happening.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, remember the server room is ransacked. You hear like the speakers, the doors have like slammed behind you in this room, and like it's on full lockdown now. And you hear pounding on the door, and there's a monitor that shows you that it's the pit boss, and he's in this like mecha suit.
Yeah.
So he's like chomping a cigar and
Yes.
pounding on the door with these robotic metal arms.
Mm-hmm.
And you know it's just a matter of time before mecha casino pit boss
Mm-hmm.
busts in.
So Shooty Bean turns to Bianca and he says, "It's a good thing I came prepared." Pulls out a schematic, and it is basically a blueprint of a mass mover, a portable machine that can move this rare element out of here. And from his surveillance and his information, he knows it can be assembled from various parts of alien machinery tech that are in this
Yes.
room. He points to a couple of the objects and he says to Bianca, "You get this stuff, I'll get the other stuff. Let's meet in the middle."
All right.
The alien from one of the test tubes starts pointing stuff out to Adam. Get.
You're reaching for like a pair of these glowing rods, and your hands get smacked away, and like another hand hands you a pair of these like lead gloves.
All right. So we're running around trying to gather the material. Shooty Bean grabs the glowing rods. Bianca's got a couple of items too. They meet up in the center, and he spreads his schematics down on the ground, and he says, "Now we've just got to put it together."
Well, we should be able to do that easy peasy.
The banging on the door gets louder. We haven't got much time. Let's get to it.
What's a good thing that happened?
Bianca recognizes the schematic. You both do. It's easy to read.
A couple of the aliens, like very curious, climb out of the tank and start as you gather the parts, they start doing the assembly.
Yeah, they just start doing all the goodness.
Even though like some of them are like getting burnt away by the like what's your goal? What are you trying to do now?
Yeah, assemble the machinery that will allow us to move.
Assemble the machinery.
Okay.
I'm definitely helping. I'm
You're
one
in
of
the
the
little alien
aliens that
suit.
got out and started helping you.
All right.
So more good stuff.
More good stuff.
If you need more good stuff, the hand punches through,
The mech hand.
like it gets through, but it's like it's breaking and like fizzing out and like very much stuck. And now it's just spending all this time trying to retrieve its arm.
All right, so we've got our machinery. Shooty Bean takes the assembled item and he fits it over his back like a
Like a
backpack.
harness kind of.
Nice.
It's like a harness. And coming off the top are sort of like these arms that reach out, the mover type thing from that Sigourney Weaver wears, like but a little more compact.
Power armor.
Yeah.
Power lifter.
But it's
loader.
also it's
just
also
a
very it's a
backpack
Sean
piece.
Bean.
Yeah.
It's-
Sean Bean.
with, like-
Technically, it's Sean Bean.
It's a Sean Bean like
Right,
holding
yeah.
onto your back
yeah.
and kind of extending his arms like
Yeah, you're
that.
giving them
He's
a
got, like,
piggyback ride.
A robotic,
Yeah.
pinchy arms.
Yeah.
But one of the arms is like one of those like shark chompers.
Yeah,
exactly.
and one's like a claw from
Yeah.
a robot thing.
Power claw.
The Sean Bean machinery grabs the
Sean
rare
Beanery.
The Sean Beanery.
grabs the rare element.
Mhm.
Shooty Bean turns to Bianca and says, "I think it's time we get out of here."
All right, we have one more. You got to
Yeah, roll. What are
one
you
more
doing?
roll.
So you got the treasure. You're getting the treasure out. How you doing?
Yep. Shooty Bean pulls out of his pocket his space cruiser keys and he pushes a button to activate his space cruiser.
Nice.
Automatic pickup mode.
All right, so roll it. And so you got backpack thing helping you hold the stuff too.
But you do win,
So
but you also lose.
Right. So I take a wound.
Yeah.
Okay.
You take.
and what was the sort type of death?
Yeah, what type of death?
For some reason, I was imagining this vault as having like a glass ceiling.
Sure.
It actually like we've risen to the top of the moon casino, and this is
It is like solar panels to power the thing holding
Yep.
the mass thing up.
it has solar panels, and the glass
They
is,
even collect moonlight. They're so good.
Mhm.
is coated so that it can't be seen from the outside, but it's
They're
glass.
lunar panels.
Space cruiser crashes through the ceiling, activates like a tractor beam that's able to suck up
Ooh.
Shooty Bean and Bianchi too, because she happens to be there.
But most importantly, treasure.
And the
sucked up.
treasure. Everyone is getting sucked up in this tractor beam. Suddenly, the Sean Beanery holding Shooty Bean in suffers a catastrophic failure. And the Sean Bean, who's holding on to him, loses his grip. And one side of Shooty Bean falls out of the machinery. And unfortunately, the rest of it catches around his neck. And he jerks, and his neck is broken as the rest of the machinery is sucked up into the ship with Bianchi, and Shooty Bean's lifeless corpse hangs
Ooh.
from the other side. As he's
Okay. It's at this point that like the boom mic operator up above this whole scene accidentally knocks over a craft service table that just sort of falls down into the scene and then rushes down to like clean it up basically with a bunch of other people and sort of emerges from underneath the table as Adam, obviously. Duh. But the body's taken away by the others who are cleaning everything up, has a sort of a black cape thrown over it, inky plate cape. And we are in our final scene of Act 3. My question to
What
you
happens
is,
next?
what happens next?
You're in the cockpit of your cruiser.
Yes, that's
you and
right.
Bianchi,
Me and Bianchi
and
getting
you
out of
are
here.
flying away from the moon.
Yes.
you have one treasure.
Mm-hmm.
That is the most valuable treasure in the
I
universe.
feel pretty good about that.
There are two of you.
How does this present a challenge to my character?
Bianchi and Adam have to split up this loot, but I think that the moon has become aware of like the stealery
The
of
moon
this.
itself?
Yes, the moon.
All right, I love
the
it.
moon itself is aware
I
that
love
this
it.
thing has been stolen and
Right.
is going to activate defenses to
Oh,
take
jeez.
it back.
And in the midst of this, like, Bianchi's trying to stab you in the back.
Trying to stab me. in the
Mhm.
back.
Get out
Exactly.
and get out with
Yep.
the treasure.
What other characters are present in this scene? What other characters are present in this scene?
I think you have your ship has a row butler,
Mm-hmm.
Bean,
That's true.
the row butler, and there's a coffee maker that talks,
That's also true. Called MX
Um,
Coffee.
which is also called it's coffee.
And you also have a space mascot.
Yes, space
That
mascot. Wholly synthetic.
Well, it's like a little. It's like a dog
Exactly.
It's like a Sean
synthetic,
Bean
synthetic dog.
in a space dog
Yeah,
costume.
space dog costume. Perfect.
Mhm.
So my challenge is that the moon is trying to stop me from escaping, and my romantic interest / partner in crime is trying to betray me.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what's happening right now? Okay. Well, I am awesome, and I'm like, for pity's sake, I've never flown one of these before, but it doesn't seem that different from riding a dragon. And I start doing these crazy maneuvers, flying the ship all around to get away from the moon lasers. And I am definitely like doing these like crazy maneuvers where I'm flying like directly at the ground, try and get away from the lasers. And by doing that, I'm like flying directly at the space casino with all the spires that are sort of oriented up towards me. And I'm awesome because I totally succeed. And some good stuff happens that by going down, we sort of confuse all the moon targeting lasers.
Bianchi's like, you're a madman.
Yeah. Mad like a hatter. And I do a quick, crazy reverse 180 G's U-turn and flip around and then just explode towards the sky as we're trying to make escape velocity out of here. And I say, kiss me now. This is the most alive I've ever felt.
Get over yourself. So what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to make out with Bianca, obviously.
While flying, all right.
While flying. Duh.
And she's got knives and shit.
She's
so-
got so
Yeah.
many knives.
Mhm.
She's got knives for teeth. Like, it's just bad. It's bad news. Her tongue is a knife. I had good stuff from the
Yeah.
last time, so this continues to
stuff.
be good, though no success or failure. I recognize that she's about to stab me in the face. And I'm able to just sort of like stiff arm her away, going, ugh, you banshee! Why?
It's
I thought-
my treasure, you fool.
We would have split it half and half. We would have been crowned together, ruled the galaxy.
Share. Share with you. You ate.
Don't you know winter is coming? I try and like deploy some controls that will lock her to her seat. Robot arms come out of her chair and sort of like try and bind her in place, I guess.
It's the chair is.
The chair is yes.
And the arms that
The
reach
chair
around
is
it.
Shakespeare Bean, obviously. Oh, I had
You
good stuff
from last
last time, so these are 2 successes. Yay! Definitely Shaky Bean is able to hold Bianca in place as we're flying, we're making escape velocity. We're just about to get out of the moon.
I think that's when, like, she thumbs her own keys.
Yes.
And in front of you, uncloaking,
Yeah.
just outside of the range
Yep,
of the moon,
perfect.
is her, like,
her fucking
her huge
her
ship.
ass dreadnought Star
And it's
Destroyer.
just like you see the beams like powering up on it.
And I say, this is gonna be a close shave.
I don't care if I die with you as long as you die.
You hag, you could have had my heart. Hashtag hag life.
I'll have your heart on a plate.
And I'm like, go for broke as I just like punch it, and I'm trying to fly directly into like her ship, basically. Like I'm not trying to go left or right. I'm trying to fly directly into the spaceport there to try and go right in between the lasers that are gonna be shooting out at me, safety inside her ship.
The chair kind of shakes her, so she drops. She's trying to make her drop her keys
Yeah,
that are powering up this thing.
that's right. Anything else happening?
Sean Bean Dog growls at Bianca to intimidate her in addition to help
I
drop
forgot you
the
were-
keys.
thought you were a dog.
Yeah.
Cool. Ooh. So I unsheath my great sword, ice, as I say, "For Winterfell!" Oh, that's not good. Yeah. All right,
you
cool.
just slice the controls. Of
Yeah,
your
right.
ship.
Exactly. So I'm like, "For Winterfell!" And I like slide. Exactly. I bust out my sword. I'm like trying to hold it up like He-Man or some shit like that, and it just goes awry. I smash it down into the controls while cutting off the robot arm that's holding Bianca fast, so she's free. And then one of the lasers shoots right into the ship. It explodes some of it, and like I get shrapnel on my face. And I'm just like, ah! I'm still trying to make it. It's real tough. It's real tough though. And so at this point, what I have to do is hit like Bianca's like eject, basically. I have to like eject her out of here and hit the afterburners and get out of here. And as I'm hitting the afterburners, it's like my own sword basically has oriented itself so the point is
You have to like
right,
reach past it.
like right at me, basically. Like it's spun around, so like the point is pointing at my chest, and I have to like reach around it exactly to try and get to the controls. Unfortunately, there were bad stuff last time.
Right. So that's a hit and a good thing.
I'm impaled by my own sword, obviously. As I reach forward, and there's like this full stop as the engines give out, and the sword, just the momentum takes it right into me. The only good thing is that I'm able to touch the controls I was trying to get, and Bianca is shot out into space.
Still hugged.
Still hugged, obviously, by Sean Bean. And I slump over the controls.
From beneath the chair where the hole where it was, as the smoke from the blast pull it in.
Yep.
Another Adam Furstman
Yep.
pulls the one body of Adam Furstman off of the wall and shoves it down in the hole as he
dare
kind of
you.
climbs up. And as the smoke clears, he just kind of brushes his lapels, looks up in the sky and goes, "See you around space, baby."
Her last words that are echoing in the cabin are, "Choke on some haggis!" Yeah, better?
Sure.
Yeah.
So the ship is burning. I have to pull an oxygen mask on. I put one on the dog after I'm done. You always do yourself first in these situations.
Right. Gotta
And
maintain your own
And then you
airflow.
put one on your Robo Butler.
Row Butler, because it's actually a human.
It's actually a Stark Bean.
All right, kids, this is it. This ship's not going to make it. We're going to have to make the jump. We're going to have to get onto her ship.
All right.
All right?
That's what I said.
But it may mean giving up our treasure.
That sounds acceptable.
Well, he runs back and he grabs the treasure and he goes, "This thing's pretty massive. If we give it a push, it might pull us all where we need to go."
Let's ride that crazy train.
All right. So
Woof.
he is going to attempt to take this massive thing and basically like turn off whatever protection is around it for as short a time as he can to let it
Drag them.
drag them over. And he takes some cord and binds them all together, like
Space
kind of as
cord.
quick as he can. So there's just kind of cord like all over the place. And are you guys helping at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Big
course.
time
How are we
helping.
helping?
Robo Butler is fastening the cords.
All right.
Yeah, and dog Sean Bean has cords in his mouth.
All right.
He drags them around.
Oh boy! Don't forget you had good stuff from me.
Oh, right. I mean, that's
Right? That carries over, doesn't it?
yeah. So we do it.
We do it.
The
We ride the dark matter.
This dark matter, this thing like pulses for a nanosecond, and it's enough to like we almost feel like we were all going to be crushed together into it. But then once it's back
so
on,
dense.
that little bit of like that pulse of pull is enough to just like shoot us like a bullet.
It's so dense. Oh, so
Shoot us.
powerful.
Right into the awaiting ship, the bay, and the dampeners that would have caught us and let us sort of land in there catch us like our bodies instead of the aircraft that we had, and we roll to a stop, and the gates close and the cloaking device goes back on, and we see like a little speck that is Bianca Bellini kind of drift away, kind of shaking her fists and then freezing because of the vacuum of space is gonna kill her.
I love it. We've succeeded.
We did it, and we each had 2 beans left.
I
right?
love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. We had some beans left. We're free of the cosmic demon warlock curse.
Our curse is over.
Curse is
We got a,
over.
we got a bunch
we
of
may
money,
live.
too.
I love it.
With that, our story ends. We will return again with a new tale to spin to dare to entertain. I was one of your players, John Holt. You can find me on Twitter at Lord Joho and on Instagram at board_ghost. You can find my media review podcast at newdshow.com. You can find my book club podcast at woundandstab.com. Ken, where can people find you?
You can find me, Ken Breese, on Twitter and Instagram and at my own website at burlingsbeard.com, BERLINGS Beard. I am a concierge DM in the New York City area. You can hire me to run your Dungeons & Dragons games.
All right. And D, where can people find you?
You can find me, D. Gailey, on Twitter, MXNURD, where we can talk about games, we can talk about queer stuff, we can talk about all kinds of fun things.
Cool. So to learn more about the players and engine in our story, visit boardghost.com. Thanks again for being on, D. It was always fun playing with you.
Thank you so much for inviting me back.
Yeah. So you can attempt to pierce the veil and contact us at Board Ghost World on Twitter. Shout out through the ether if you have desires we can fill. Leave reviews and comments on iTunes or your preferred listening portal. Think like Google Plus. We're already on the Google podcast platform, and they just made their platform a little easier to use. So you can check us out there. Take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest episodes. We'd like to thank Pat Couples for our theme song and interlude music. You can find more about Pat at patcouples.tumblr.com or on his band's website, hotelsandhighways.com. If you are wanting to get some exclusive how to play videos, access to some wallpaper of the art that we decorate the show with, and even get possible early access to the full episode, like to the second half of an episode, the first week that the first half drops, you can go to our Patreon and help us in making the show at patreon.com/boardghost. Thank you to our patrons that we've already got. And for everybody out there, whether you're able to patronize us through Patreon or not, go spread the word. Let people know about the show and put it out there so that more people know about it. If you're not alone in the void, share our stories. The more they are consumed, the truer they become.
Don't agree with me.